Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the CEO of Japan 2019 Organising Committee, Shimazu-san. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence, and for your invitation to the Telegraph Business of Sports Forum. I come from Japan, the country which 6 months ago was described by the Daily Telegraph as certainly the unluckiest and without doubt the practiced as well. Today, I will be talking to you about how the Rugby World Cup 2019 can contribute to the world. Before getting into the main subject, let's talk back at last year's tournament in England, the most successful Rugby World Cup ever. The first success factor of the Rugby World Cup in England was that the RFU and the organizing committee achieved excellent management by closely working with World Rugby and the government. In addition, they made full use of the ICT. They encouraged the integrity of local government in the host city, and volunteers played a central vital role. It was these efforts that led to record revenues. Another highlight was the impressive mark left on the tournament by non-traditional rugby nations like Japan and Argentina. Interestingly, it was a match between Ireland and Romania that made a record high score of 89,000 spectators. And even though England could not make it to the knockout stage, local fans did not stop cheering for other nations. We could feel England's tradition and pride as a host. The beer stand and the fish and chip stand, they also played an important role in the tournament. Did you know that fans drank an average of 3 pints of beer per person? So, to summarize, there were 5 factors that lead to the success of England 2015, namely cutting-edge technology, local knowledge, enthusiastic volunteer, tradition, and gimmicks to enhance enjoyment of the matches. But I am convinced that the main factor in the success was the amount of beer consumed. We are currently preparing for a successful tournament in Japan, learning from what was achieved here in England last year. Last summer, the plan to build a new national stadium had to be revised. But the local government in Tokyo and Yokohama immediately offered us the use of the Tokyo Stadium and the Yokohama International Stadium. Since then, we have received approval for the revised plan from World Rugby, and our progress is smooth and on track. Sadly, the 3 host cities of Kumamoto, Oita, and Fukuoka were affected by the recent earthquakes. I would like to express my appreciation to the people in the United Kingdom for their heartfelt condolences following the earthquakes. I am pleased to say that life is getting back to normal and the affected areas are recovering very well. There was no damage to the stadia, and we see no issues with hosting the tournament in these cities. Japan is a country with frequent earthquakes, but you can rest assured that we have stick quake resistance standards. The film you saw a few minutes ago features British lady. She was wearing a red and white jersey, and she was cheering for Japan. In an interview with a Japanese sports magazine, she said she was delighted to see the emergence of Japan as a force to be reckoned with in a rugby world that has historically been dominated by nations from Europe and the Southern Hemisphere. Reading her words made me realize how our rugby culture has reached a new stature, even overseas. So what can Japan bring to international sporting events? First, it can inspire emerging rugby nations to believe. Just look at the Japan way implemented Eddie Jones and his team. Improved that there is a chance for a team with similar-sized players to beat the big guys. Next, rugby is a model sport in the fight against doping, and along with the disciplinary aspect of the game, Japan as a nation with the first infringement in last year's tournament intend to use the Rugby World Cup to highlight the importance of integrity in sports. Another of our goals is to achieve tournament operation that makes full use of Japan's cutting-edge technologies. We intend to contribute to the rest of the world by improving and developing the best use of such technologies. In the tournament in England, many challenges in areas such ticketing and volunteer recruitment were resolved by ICT. Also, we will maximize the use of ICT to deliver a tournament that is environmentally friendly and establish safe security using sensor technology. Our tournament in Japan will be incubator for a new business model using such technologies. The Rugby World Cup 2019 will be held at 12 venues with 19 local governments all over Japan. It will be an opportunity to boost grassroots international friendship, revitalize the tourism industry, and strengthen bonds with other countries. To make these things happen, it will be important to secure volunteer interpreters, upgrade guideboards and street signs in various languages, and foster a mindset where people will welcome tourists from abroad. We shall carry all of this forward to future events such as the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Paralympic Games and the Kansai World Masters Games 2021. We will further develop the projects being run by the Japan Rugby Football Union and the Japan International Cooperation Agency of sending rugby coaches to other Asian countries. Thinking about our tourism industry, the Japanese government has doubled its target number of inbound tourists in 2020 from 20 million to 40 million. For the fans who travel to Japan for the Rugby World Cup in 2019, we will offer a variety of attractive routes to travel around Japan. It will be an opportunity to introduce the many attractive corners of our country to the world. The Rugby World Cup in Japan is a golden opportunity both to energize local industries and to foster rehabilitation and recovery in the areas affected by the Great East Japan earthquake and the recent Kumamoto earthquake. That 12 host cities and 19 host local governments are located from Sapporo in the north to Kumamoto in the south. All over the island of Japan, which extend about 3,000 kilometers. More than 40 official team campuses will be added soon, which will have further widespread impact on the local economy in the regions. The Japanese government has set a goal of boosting nominal GDP to 600 trillion yen by the year 2020. Again, the Rugby World Cup 2019 is positioned as an important driving force in reaching this target. A vibrant Japanese economy will be of great importance to the rest of the world. Of course, I intend to deliver a successful international sports tournament in Japan, but also intend to ensure that the event will be an opportunity to embed various structures for the future. For example, we intend to set up a structure where volunteers can be easily recruited and mobilized, infrastructure to ensure that visitors from abroad will receive a warm welcome and a new sports business model. We are not afraid of facing these challenges because England has left a shining example of best practice in tournament management. And because we have World Rugby and Rugby World Cup Limited, our great partner who are supporting us on every step of our journey. And the key to the success of the tournament is your support and cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we are all very much looking forward to welcome you in 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Shimazu-san.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Shimazu-san. I know that he's got to get a flight to Japan now.